Rosenstein. Why isn't Jeff Sessions here today?
Well, Senator, my understanding is consistent with what was in the Attorney General's letter. I don't know of any other reasons beyond what he set forth publicly.
Okay. It's 13 June. Do you know of any reason for cause to fire Mr. Mueller as of this date?
No, I do not, Senator.
And that would be your decision if that ever happened, right?
That's correct.
And you're going to make it, nobody else?
As long as I'm in this position, Senator, it'll be my responsibility to make that decision.
Well, I'm glad you're in this position. Is giving political donations a reason to disqualify somebody for serving in the special counsel's office?
No, Senator, it is not a disqualification. It is not.
As a matter of fact, many states, their judges and prosecutors are actually elected. Donations are part of that system, is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
Would it be a disqualification for somebody in the special counsel's office who had represented Ms. Clinton in the past to serve?
You know, Senator, it would depend on the facts and circumstances. As a general matter, I think the answer is no.
Isn't that much closer to a conflict of interest?
You know, I don't want to answer a hypothetical, Senator. Everybody needs to make a determination based upon the facts and circumstances.
How would you get it before the special counsel? What process could a member of the Senate use to inform the special counsel that you'd have a concern about hiring somebody that represented Clinton?
We have a process within the Department of Justice, Senator, so I would encourage you, if you have those concerns, to raise them with Director Mueller or to raise them with me, and I'll make sure that
Should I do it to you or him?
Well, you could do it to both.
Okay.
We have career
And I don't know if I'll do that, but I've read some things that were, I don't think donations are disqualifying at all, but if you represented the Clinton Foundation or Clinton herself, that would be a bit disturbing to me, but I'll take care of that. As to Russia, do you have any doubt that the 17 intelligence agencies report that was submitted last year or early this year that Russia interfered in our election is accurate?
So, Senator, this was an issue that was discussed at my confirmation hearing, and several of you attended that. At that point, I had access only to the public information, from which classified information.
So what can you tell us now?
I now have access to classified information, and I think that assessment made by the intelligence community is justified based upon the investigation and the evidence they had.
Thank you very much. What role did you play in crafting this budget? Where did this budget come from for the Department of Justice?
I appreciate that question, Senator. The budget actually is a product primarily of career professionals in the department. It's $27.7 billion. It's very complicated. Some of them are actually seated behind me, but they have a whole team behind them, and I suspect there are dozens of folks who've been involved.
Was it their desire to cut the budget by 2%, or did that come from OMB?
You know, Senator, I do not know the answer to that, but let me just make clear.
Could you find that answer?
We're accountable for that. That is the political leadership of the department. We're accountable for that. I'm not in any way suggesting those were their decisions. They faithfully implement the priorities that are given to them. So I do not mean to shed responsibility for the bottom line, but the assistance that we have in preparing the budget.
Well, it's a simple question. Were you directed to cut the budget by 2%, or did you agree to cut the budget? But did that come within the Department of Justice or a mandate outside the Department of Justice?
I honestly do not know the answer to that.
Well, that's all right.
Try to find out.
You can get back to me. In terms of threats to the country, are they going up or down?
I wouldn't want to, I haven't done a study, so I wouldn't want to characterize it. Well, I think everybody recognizes the terrorist threat is extremely serious.
Will we have more FBI agents under this budget or less than we did last year?
I believe we'll have I apologize, Senator. I'm consulting with
I'm actually asking budget questions, so I don't want to throw you off here.
I appreciate the budget questions. According to the numbers that I have, the FBI will have an increase of 150 for a total of 12,484.
So there'd be more agents by 150, is that correct?
That is my understanding, Senator. We can, let me check that and get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree that the FBI, Department of Justice, is national security in another form in many ways?
I'm sorry?
Is national security in another form, that the role of the Department of Justice is a national security role as well as a domestic role?
Well, actually, my answer, Senator, is it's national security in reality and in another form. And we actually
So here's my final question. we're dramatically increasing the Defense Department because it has suffered mightily over sequestration. Can you make an argument that if you are a national security component of our overall defense strategy, why we would cut you now, given the threats we face?
Yeah, Senator, I believe that if you look at the budget, we are not cutting the critical areas. Violent crime, terrorism, the areas that you've raised are areas where there will be no cuts. Cybercrime, all of those areas. And so the effort in this budget, as I understand it, is to reduce only in areas that are not critical to those operations. It's an effort to be more efficient, to achieve the goals of the American people. But I can assure you, that our goal is to use these resources more effectively to reduce crime, to reduce drug abuse, and to fight terrorism. And so we are not going to relent in our commitment to those goals.
Senator Van Hollen.